We're on. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the talk. It was so exciting. How are you feeling?
Good, relieved, I suppose.
Really, yeah, that's a good feeling. So, like I said to you, we're just gonna talk a little bit, chat a little bit about your talk and whatever you want to speak about. For the online audience, everyone watching, of course, the the situation we have a hybrid event. So, anyways, so my first question actually is, I got distracted. um, how do you feel about designing for a legacy? So I can imagine Wikipedia and all the initiatives from Wikimedia are so there's such a legacy to it. There's lots of things that often people wouldn't touch
Hmm.
because of its longevity and how people are so used to Wikipedia. Like
Right.
I think Wikipedia was on ever since I was born. I think.
Almost 20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 20.
That means
I'm
you're quite
26. Yeah, I'm young. I'm young. Yes. So I'm 26. So for me, I think it's a very perspective of myself. Just like how do you design in such a there's so much energy behind that, like trying to change something that's old and not old, but like legacy.
The legacy. Yeah, I think that's really, you know, the impetus for the desktop refresh project from this year is recognizing that like maintaining a legacy is great, but we also have to um, not look so glowingly at the past and sort of hold it up to this pedestal. I think there's a danger of that all the time.
Right.
And we want to acknowledge that even though it's really useful and familiar to a lot of people, um, in fact, it isn't something that people can access all around the world.
No.
And so part of the things that we try to do is, introduce these new ways for people to access Wikipedia. So like iOS on these feature phones, designing for the mobile web, but also, and kind of like, I suppose in the past few years, we've tried to build up new ways of access in these newer platforms, because it has been this like hard thing to move. And I think we're at a place where we feel like it's really time. Like 10 years
Right.
is a long time, and this is the point where we want to make changes. And it's not like drastic changes. We're not going to throw out everything.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, the part of it that's really important for us is that respecting the legacy as well to do this design changes with lots of consultation.
Yeah.
And, yeah, not move too quickly.
That's a good point, actually. So regarding the consultation itself, like how do you go about testing those changes that you're indicating, and do you take a lot of feedback from the audience that uses, because Wikipedia is all about
The readers, yeah.
yeah
It's this this interesting tension because the people who are creating the content, the active community members, they're really passionate about the way that the site looks, right? Because they've put all their heart and soul into like building it, and we're all about content first. So we're very mindful of making sure that they're involved in the process, but we're also mindful of letting trying to do lots of research and show how everyday users that aren't like experts on the site, how they experience Wikipedia, and kind of like show through extensive research and speaking to the readers to kind of like help the volunteer editor community understand where we're coming from, and give voice to that silent majority of readers.
awesome. No, I mean that makes total sense. Let me just check if there you go. Hey Rita, thanks for the talk from Robert Dumitru. Thanks for the talk. How do you make sure people don't poorly edit or write fake information in an already existing article? How do you manage issues with misinformation?
Right, and so that's where we have a great respect for the editor community, because they're the ones that take care of it. Like the Wikimedia Foundation, we're not about managing the content. That's
Right.
up to everyone, right?
Yeah.
So if you spot a mistake, a typo, the great thing about Wikipedia is you can fix that typo.
Right.
And obviously for the more high profile pages that can tend to get more vandalized, there are extra precautions in place, but overall it's managed a lot by volunteers just like patrolling the sites.
Right.
So if they notice the vandalism, there's often like someone who maybe. So, for example, the rural article. I should stop using this as an example because I can't pronounce it properly. But, anyways,
Yeah.
if you're a
Don't
writer
worry, don't
of
worry.
that article, you will usually like watch that site. So, if someone else has come in and made some vandalism on it, you're able to like make sure that it's like you can tend to your garden in a way.
Right. Is there a way that you can share any like insights of how do you guys actually profile those high level pages? Like, because technically any article could be
I mean, it's just generally when you see a lot of vandalism, that's
right.
when the editors, like not us, the editors
Okay.
will decide, to maybe put a temporary like hold on updating things on it. But yeah, for the most part, things are pretty
Yeah.
open.
That makes sense. I should actually make an article for myself. Uh, anyways, okay, so no new questions. I guess my last question then would be during this period, in this pandemic period, um, has it affected the design process? That not only the redesign but just the user experience as a whole. When you saw users be more active in the pages and stuff, did that affected the process as a whole, or did it just continue normally?
We did actually have a few new initiatives that were created to make, for example, the tables appear better on the COVID articles
Right.
on mobile because people were
Right.
using our mobile site a lot, and we wanted to make sure that the information, in like all of those COVID charts were represented better on mobile, and other small things like to put very prominent signals about whether pages were still being updated, things like that. But in terms of everyday design work, we weren't that impacted by COVID because we were already a fully
Already a
remote.
fragmented team.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Cool.
All right.
That's really helpful.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much
All right. Cheers.
for everyone that's watching. And then I'll see you around. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for your time.
All right. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.